Good evening and welcome back to Timberborn, here with our 3x3 playthrough where, as you just saw, many explosions have happened and we've started digging out the initial part of the new housing district. So yeah, now I did blow holes in between as well because I thought it looked quite cool with it going backwards and forwards and round rather than just multiple explosions. But we need to rebuild these, which we can do. We have terrain blocks, we can do that. We have a terrain station, terraforming station. Let's turn it back on, and our bots can go and take the dirt and fill the holes. We need to fill some holes over here as well because, as you also saw, these have been going and mining loads of dirt, and we have too much dirt, like way too much dirt. 1,800 dirt, and I need something to do with it. So we're gonna have to see what we do with that. But right now, what I'm gonna do is fill this in like that, so it's level again, so we can put trees in it, which would be nice because trees are still a problem. I have filled in the little dots in between where we had little water drops, wherever we had those, they are filled in, and I filled in the area here for the where we originally was going to have the channel come up. I filled that back in with dirt because I just wanted to. However, here we want to actually dig a hole. I want to dig a hole because if we want to put in the monument of Fountain of Joy, it requires access to water. It needs to be recessed in water, basically. So we'll have to blow a hole there and figure that out. Okay, one unexpected interruption later. We have more kaboomies. So let us kaboom. 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 Daboom and alaboom. There we go. And let's put in some more stairs as well. And we can set the next row of them as well to be ready for detonation. That should be the last layer we need. Ooh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, definitely getting there. Okay, so yes. So we were here. I was discussing this. Sorry, an unexpected distraction. So what I want to do is we've got 16,000. Let's unlock the monuments, shall we? Can we do all of them? We can do all of them. 12,000, 3,000, 1,000. We have 187 science left. Awesome. Do we have anything else? We've got those things to unlock there, those to unlock there. We want to get these, so we will do them. But okay, so the farm monument is it's a 2x2 and just quite a large area, which is quite nice. I think we're going to put that sort of, if one can cover like the entire area, we should put it somewhere in the center if we can. Like, I want to say put one there and then one over that side, and that might. No, it's not covering up. Plus, I don't know how to actually get it there without. We could always block that off. We could put one. So if I put it there, or we put it over by one, doesn't matter. It will cover this row here, which means if we put one over here, it will cover this row here, and the center rows won't get done. So we need to do something about that. Okay, we have the Brazier monument, which is also a 2x2 that covers a larger area, but that's quite nice. We might put in the farm monuments more of them, if that makes sense. So they're quite nice. They can go in whatever place they need to go in because they're quite large. And I think get them in the middle, maybe. No, they wouldn't quite cover every house. You'd have to have at least 4 of them, I think. So yeah, so we'll have to do that. But this one, this is the big one, and this is an interesting one as well. It requires water, but as you can see, it's got a 3x3 footprint, and then like a gap above, like it overhangs. And beavers can, in fact, if I was to put it there, they can walk down that path that's there. It doesn't block the path; they can actually walk down that path. But it won't go down there because it requires water. Have to put it in water. I believe you have to put it in water. No, you don't have to put it in water. Okay, it does require water to function though. So okay, so it can't go there because it's too deep. So beavers can't. So you have to have a 5x5 gap around it. But the 3x3 will be fine for it. So if we put it here, for instance, there, we would have to. We wouldn't be able to get paths around it. Okay, because it'd have to go down the water one, and then it would have to be a 5x5 in the water. Although I think if we let me just test this here. If I delete the path and put it in, then it will go there. The path blocks it, so we could get it here. We just have to get rid of the path behind. It would sit here. We still have the path in front, which would be fine, but we would have to get rid of the path behind, which is okay because that means beavers just have to come down here to get to the sick beds and down here to get to the sick beds. That's not a problem. Then we can do the same over this side. We can get rid of some of the potatoes and put the thing in here and just get rid of this path in the centre. And not worry about it. Not worry about having the path in the centre. Or actually, the path in the centre could be blown down to be the water out for it. This one would need to have access from this side, which involves us removing all of this, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with moving it and rebuilding it. We don't have the wood, but that's okay because we can now plant down some more trees. Let's do that. Because right now the issue is that we don't have enough trees. We don't have enough trees. Like they're chopping all the trees before they're grown. So that's an issue. That's an issue there. So wood is a problem. Okay. Right. That's one plan. That's one plan. Plan for the water fountain is going to go here. Water fountain is going to go there. The monuments we'll put on top. 1, 2, 3, 4 farm monuments, and then the larger monuments, the razor of bonding, could go nowhere. If the razor of bonding was to sit in the middle, it'd be great. Then the farm monument would go here, but it needs to go over by 2. It needs to have to go there, where that one is, in order to get access to it. Which we could do. We could move this around and have the path up one side, so then these people this side have to go to the other side, which is kind of awkward, but doable. It's not horrendous to do that, to swap this round, but to turn these round 180, and then we could get rid of these 2 paths here, like that. Put these round 180, so the paths are on this side, so then you get access to these 2 from here, you get access to these 2 from here, these 2 from here, these 2 from here, and there's no throughput, because the brazier would be there and the farm monument would be there but over by 2, and because it's over 2, if I put it there, it will cover 1 tile here. If I pause the game, put it down and click it, it covers 1 tile here, which means it gets these buildings. So it needs to go over by 2 tiles to get these buildings, this whole row of buildings here. So it needs to go over by 2, which means it needs to sit where this shrub is, basically. We'd have to figure out the shrubs as well. That's something. And we'd have to move this path around. And then they'd come down to this one from this side. And they'd come down to this one from this side. And then the centre would have... I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Put the monuments in to cover the most. And then we just repeat that here. Here we go. Farm monument. Has to go over by 2. The brazier monument. Brazier of bonding. Brazier could go there. Doesn't matter where it goes because it's got such a large range. Doesn't really matter where it goes. So if that went there, we could put the farm one next to it, or we could put the farm one over here. Either way, it would still have to go over by 2 in order to get access to this. But if it did go over by 2, at least we'd have a path connecting between these 2. I think before I put them in, I'm going to let this get built, and then we can experiment before we put the water towers on top. So we'll let these get built over here, and then we can experiment before we put the water towers on top to see whether we can get a pattern to cover them. But either way, we can do that, and then the Fountain of Joy can go 1 here, which as you can see covers every house and all the outside bits, and that's fantastic because also we'll put the entertainment out here. So this will be covering entertainment as beavers are working there. And then this one will come up to here, and this one will cover pretty much, well, the potato farms, at least. So everyone working on potatoes. But if we cover the houses, that's where all the beavers go at night time. They go to the houses. So therefore, they will get the bonuses. That's the idea. And if we find somewhere where it's not getting as many bonuses, we can just put it in somewhere there. Remember, these houses are going to move. So they're not going to be there. Okay. So that's the plan for that. So we're going to move the houses and fill this in with dirt. That's fine. Speaking of dirt, we need to use some, like lots of it. And there's two things I want to do. One is probably a much more future project. But I'd like to, well, either I'd like to fill this area in here with dirt and then get rid of this dam. So we have a dirt end here. And then do the same over here. Fill this end in with dirt. And then this whole area can be full. And then we'll come down here and like fill this in with dirt. Up to however high we want to get it, and just leave like one row on top empty, so it just pours out by one row, which would flood all of this. But that's okay, don't mind that. We'd have to get up to this height here, so yeah, we can figure that out. But the other thing as well is we need our aquatic crops, and for the aquatic crops I was thinking, instead of blowing this down to a certain level, why don't we build it up? Why don't we build it up, build blocks in here, and then we can feed them from here over. It was also suggested in the comments, and I forgot who it was that commented about using a mechanical pump. Instead of opening this here to let the water flow in like it was, and that was causing problems for us because obviously it was flooding. If you used a mechanical pump, it would only fill to the top of this and then stop. It wouldn't flow any further because mechanical pumps stop at these heights. The water, aren't they? Mechanical pump. This one here. We can't block it yet, but when we put it in there, they only fill up to their base level. So we only fill up until this area here. So they wouldn't overflow. I was thinking, we could clear out some area here to get a bit more of a source here, and then put the water in here, and we could have some blocks in here full of aquatic tiles, aquatic crops in here, fed by a mechanical pump, and it would only top them up, and that way we don't need an exit for it. It would just literally be topped up, and each one would just flow into the next one, all at the same height, so the mechanical pump works fine. Would mean we might have to bring it up to this height. So the mechanical pump can pump out of here and drop it in to that side. So we'd have to bring it up to this height. Maybe one lower than this height, so we'd have to go to this height and then figure out things there. And I'm absolutely fine with doing that because, well, we can blow little channels in here to get stairways up. That's not an issue because we can always have the connecting bits around the back of it and just have each one flow into it. But we can build it whichever which way we want, and whichever way round we feel like doing it. So, you think that's a good plan? I kind of like it as a plan. I think it's a good plan. And because I think it's a good plan, that means we're going to do it, unless you, like in the comments, go, no, that's a terrible idea. What are you doing? Which I would say, why? If you think it's a terrible idea, let me know. Let me know why. Why it's a terrible idea. Because I need to know. So we'll blow those up and put some paths in here. I'll put some stairways in here. So we can get up a level. And then we can just literally come in with our terrain blocks and we can just go fill up to this level here. Using all of our terrain blocks, I will drop down the trees and get rid of those because we want trees. Drop down trees over here, figure out this over here, and mechanical pump it over. The mechanical pump requires 700 horsepower to run. Right? So we'd have to run it on its own power system. And it doesn't have to run all the time. We could run it on a water wheel system here. We could put a little water wheel right at the end here, where the water's running through, and have it run the mechanical pump, so it only runs during the wet season anyway. There's no point in running the pump when there's no water here. But we could do that. That wouldn't be a problem. And it could just pump over and run. We've got little water wheels here. They might not run at full power, but we don't have to worry about that. So long as it is filling the area, and it doesn't. The water has nowhere to go; it will just be evaporated. We won't have like an outlet at the back. So evaporation is the only thing that we've got to deal with. I think we'll be okay. But yeah, that's the plan. That's a plan. I don't know if it's a good plan or not, but we'll see. So we have more dynamite to put in here, more stuff to put in there, more plans going on here. We will do this here. I'm not going to do this yet because I want to make sure we got some logs spare so I can put this back in quicker. But that's cool. That's fine. These are struggling. Keep power. We're like literally balanced on power right now. We're reducing like 10 horsepower more than we need. So yeah, so we've got some things to go. These are stopped because they have nowhere to put their dirt. So this isn't working. But that's okay because it will start working once we get more. Once we use our dirt. So yeah, okay. So let's leave this one here, and let's come back next time when this is ready to be built into the next stage. And let me know what you think of this one here. So before I do this here, let me know what you think of it, and we will see. Building it up, I think it's going to be something different. We'll use our dirt to build it up. So yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.